Hi guys, have you ever experienced chest pain, shortness of breath, or even swelling in your feet? If so, this could be a sign of cardiovascular disease or even an issue with the circulation system in your body. I am not trying to scare anyone at all. I just want everyone to kind of be proactive when it comes to their health. So things like chest pain can be a warning sign. If you have chest pain on exertion, meaning when you're doing physical activity, if the chest pain is going on for a long time and doesn't go away with rest, those are big indicators that you should go and see a cardiologist just to get checked out to make sure that you don't have any blockages in any of your arteries. And that's one of those things that usually you'll know if there's an issue or an indicator that you might have plaque in your arteries if you experience some of those symptoms at a more severe level. Another symptom is shortness of breath, which can be very common. If someone's out of breath or their body is not conditioned, that can definitely cause shortness of breath. In other instances, there are people that just have shortness of breath every day for no reason, whether they're exerting themselves or not. This can be an indication of any sort of issue with the valves in the heart. A lot of times, if there is regurgitation or any backflow in any of the valves, it can cause shortness of breath. And it can also become a very serious condition if untreated. This can also be a congenital thing where people are born with it, and then other issues that would cause that could be uncontrolled high blood pressure or even just a heart murmur and it just developing over time. Once again, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I just think it's important to share this information because a lot of people don't know that these can be signs of cardiovascular disease, whether it's yourself or someone that's in your family. Lastly, another very common symptom is swelling in the extremities. A lot of people get swelling in their feet after being on their feet all day or swollen ankles. This can be a sign that you have fluid retention. Now, when you have the fluid retention, like I said, it could be caused from different factors. But if you touch your legs and you can kind of like squeeze it and you see where the imprint of your finger, it's called pitting, and that is an indicator that is significant swelling. A lot of times if you go to the doctor, sometimes they'll give you compression stockings to help with circulation, to help get that extra fluid out, or sometimes they'll even prescribe medications such as a diuretic. Also, if the area is warm to the touch or if there's pain, that can be an indicator of either some sort of cellulitis, or it can also be a sign of a blood clot. Yes, a blood clot is more of a serious issue and it's not something to ignore. So I tell people, young and old, because I've met patients that are, like in their 20s and 30s, and they have undiagnosed blood clotting disorders, and they ended up with a blood clot in their legs. And the only way they found out was by going to the doctor to kind of get checked out or going to urgent care to see what's going on. Once again, I'm not trying to scare anyone. I just think it's very important for people to be very proactive when it comes to their health, because the sooner you're on top of these things, the better you are set for the future, because you're basically eliminating the chances of any sort of events in the future. Going to the cardiologist is a very important thing. A lot of doctors don't really recommend people to see a cardiologist until they are, I believe the age of like 60, 65. That's usually the general age. But I do believe going to your doctor, it could be your regular doctor, if you are having any sort of, unspecified chest pain or swelling or shortness of breath, it's good to go to the doctor and they'll refer you to the appropriate physician. Now, when it comes to the chest pain and shortness of breath, it can be pulmonary also. It can be an issue with your lungs, most absolutely. but keep in mind that these systems do work together to help give oxygen and supply blood throughout the body. That is my informative speech. I hope you learned something from it, and I hoped it pushed you to kind of be more aware of the symptoms that you may be experiencing or that you may have experienced in the past. And just, go to the doctor, get peace of mind. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, have a good day.